Wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a winner.
We just don't think it's impressive to be in a band anymore, to be a rock star anymore. It's a very dated thing, very sad. So rather than all these bands that are still trying to live the sort of 70s idea of what it is to be a rock band and be a rock star, we're ignoring it. We're using the things that are normal about us. Just for me. Saying that, we still do get underwear thrown at us.
Under a hit that happened in the UK with the song Creep, right? There was a sort of a... What's the story behind that exactly?
Well, the story behind it wasn't actually one that hit in the UK. The story was that Radio 1 listened to it and after the third play decided it was too down a record and refused to play it anymore. They thought that the English public couldn't take it or something. So they just stopped playing it, which was highly amusing, and like the press basically ignored us for a while. And then suddenly, at the end of last year, suddenly everyone discovered that they really liked the song. And suddenly everyone stopped kidding themselves and discovered they liked us. It was only played 4 times ever on radio, but it sold something like 20,000 copies in Britain, which is like a bit of a discrepancy there, you know. We've basically found that all the countries that have played it on the radio with any regularity, it's been successful in that country, and people have phoned up and asked to hear it more, and it's just been frustrating that the public haven't heard it in England. In England, it's been, it was kind of just... There's only one radio station.
But has it changed now?
Well, no. It's growing, but not really. But they still won't play us during daytime.
Become so famous over a song, Creep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fairly depressing.
It is actually, and what's even more depressing is, that song to me was almost a joke when I wrote it, yeah. And then I got all the letters from people who didn't see the joke at all, and there's some of the people that were coming to the gigs and were just sort of, it was, I'm almost like issuing a challenge for this record and saying, well, that was almost a joke, and a lot of people. I think it was like a full stop on a period of time as well. So people like like the whole Generation X thing, which was just bullshit. It was depressing because it was one song and it got misinterpreted, but then that's inevitable and that's fine. But like this album was we're moving on. Why don't you get a life?
Coming up in the songs about how what's the point, don't you think?
A lot of this album was bits of that because that was what I was going through at the time, because everything pretty much changed overnight really for us, and there was like a lot of looking myself in the room and writing sort of songs of consolation. So there is sort of, there's bits of what the point, but I think it's much more uplifting than that. I think it stems from that, but I think there's, the sense of coming through the other side, which is more important. If it was just me singing what's the point, then it'd probably be the most boring record in the world, but it isn't.
No.
Types of people that are attracted to your music?
There are definitely certain parts of people that aren't. I mean, some famous radio station did some survey, and like one of the records was one of our records, but the survey was amongst all these males. Like it was all men, like 25 to 30, and we got naught.
No men like
Zero.
No men dig your music?
Well, listening to that particular station, no. I mean that particular station, plays metal and not really. Anyway.
So are you saying that most of your fans are not men?
We don't get men that come to sort of go like this a lot.
has to be asked, and I doubt you're going to answer, but it has to be asked. What is the guy saying?
He says,
No. What does he say? Don't tell her what he says. Okay, let's see that.
which ironically is exactly what he does say. He does say that.
Yeah, exactly
Those words.
Does he say that?
If we told you, you'd lie down too, so we're not going to tell you.
When you guys have such a big success with Pablo Honey, are you relieved that this one has also been a success and it's been critically well received?
It was critically better received because it's a better album, fortunately. And so we're kind of happier, really. It wasn't just the strength on the one song, and so on. And we got better as a band, and that's good. Now we're ready to do the next one, I think, aren't we? Sort of, pretty much. Thanks very much. We've had a year. We're pretty burnt out, actually. The fuses are going, and so on. So we're ready to do the next one.